Happy Saturday, everybody! It's finally here. The mega episode, the most important episode in my YouTube news bullshit career that I've been making. So let me take it back, take you back to I think 2017, 2018. So these child groomers were running around the UK, United Kingdom, pretty much doing their evil deeds. And I remember specifically one of the most horrifying videos for me to watch is no longer available because it was on Live Leaks, and unlike I don't remember why I didn't download it. Maybe I just couldn't handle it. So in this video, there's this little girl getting carried off by these Pakistani, and they're clearly I wouldn't say South Indian, but they're Indian, like Punjabi, Sikh, Muslim, Indian type people, right? Just dragging a girl, grabbing her, and carrying her back. Like one guy has her arms, is carrying her by her behind her shoulders and stuff. She's kicking and trying to get away, and one's holding her legs. And as she's getting dragged away, a bunch of her peers and younger, much younger kids are seeing this, and then they swarm this kebab shop where they taken her, and then these two what look to be international students, people from Canada, Toronto, they know what the fuck I'm talking about. They're coming out trying to defuse the situation, right? Meanwhile, the perpetrators are most likely, they have her in the basement or some shit like that, and it's hard to watch. They're kicking the door, and they're just kids, dude. You know what I mean? And the complete and utter lack of adults around, it's mind bending because, yeah, here's the thing. I think, and I could be alone in this train of thought, but I think that if the world got a taste of most of the stuff that got censored previous to COVID-19, because COVID-19 was used as an exclusionary tool to help people with nefarious backgrounds and crimes evade justice, basically. So in the case of the Pakistanis, the Punjabis in the United Kingdom, France, Italy, Germany, wherever the fuck they are, it's just everywhere they go, they are acting really fucking pedophilic. Also they're not ashamed of it either, because it's not just about the whole religious aspect that allows them to do it, but it's also the fact that it bothers you, and then they'll do it even more. And that's why I say, as a man, there's gonna be Muslim girls out there who don't want to be part of this fucking bullshit anymore, and you got to take them as your second or third wife. I think you should only have possibly maximum 3 wives. If anything, just have two wives, and then just for the sake of not having your first wife pump out 3+ children for you, because that's gonna fuck her body up, no matter how old she is. I mean, I've been looking more and more into it, and the unfortunate reality of it is the girls who live in our countries are not like our parents' generation. They're not that strong, unfortunately. And this isn't always the case, but it's more common than people realize. And it's not their fault, right? Whatever. They just don't have the time to strenuously exercise or walk long distances all the time, and maybe they have predispositions for injury or health complications, etc., right? So it's not my place to comment on, well, why are they so weak, why can't they do more, right? And this is why I think as a society we put so much emphasis on how we look and our body shapes and everything, where we think being extremely being extremely skinny is somehow attractive, no muscles, nothing. And then it's a perfect segue, the perfect segue. So Jaskarn, right? Jacky, as he calls himself. I think he likes Michael Jackson, but not in the right way. He thinks that Michael Jackson's a pedophile. Nah, dog. See, Michael Jackson was a performer ever since he was single digits. He was singing, dancing. People speculated that he got his testicles removed so he can keep his voice like really, really high pitched or whatever. But it's a speculation. Like there's so much dark history about this guy that even though like he is a good person, like everything around him, like the people who want his money, his family members, the press, his whatever, right? Like, and it's none of my business to comment on it, but it's all like also obvious that the people who wanted to tarnish his reputation were people who did not possess his talent, right? And like guys like Jacky, who are like he's seen on film dancing like Michael Jackson, terribly by the way, terribly, all emaciated and coked out, cracked out. Um, yeah, it's kind of like adding logs to the fire, and I'm guilty of that too. You watch a Simpsons episode, you watch this and that, and media just like boils your brain, and instead of thinking for yourself, you think that Michael Jackson is like Jaskarn Jhaj, a guy who gets his little cousin, right, to go to, it's not a high school, I got it wrong, it's like a middle school, so it starts at 10 years old and it ends at 16. This is like some weird ass, to me anyways, school curriculum, but they said that they were in the school together for 5 years, which is crazy because high school used to be 5 years in Canada until they took away the OAC and then it made you take another year in college or university. Yeah. So like, and like, I'm actually kind of glad that it happened because, again, like you can learn from the way people act and the way people treat you when you have like okay people from the older grade, the older age, right, in the school with you, and you're going to be possibly graduating with them. And if girls don't want to talk to you when they're around, right, that means that they fucking hold the fuck out. You know what I mean? And you have to be legit. You have to be, about that, like understanding and stuff. Because if you don't, you're gonna wind up like Jaskar and Judge over here. He's getting his little cousin to go into this like middle school thing in the UK and stuff. These kids, they wear like a school uniform. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I'm just dropping this guy off. I'm his older cousin. I'm his like whatever, right? And it's like it's cute and endearing after a while until you start seeing like these kids like taking rides with him, and it just becomes more and more complicated from there. Because guess what? This fucking pedophile fucker has a gun. So he's going up to like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 year olds, and he's got a gun, dude. And his family's giving money, and it's just so fucking pathetic, dude. It's so fucking pathetic because not only is his family giving him money, but he's also scamming. His family possibly scams too. It's just like some like rat type shit behavior where, as much as like it is evil and like a real whatever slight what he did, but like I have to comment on the fact that the parents of these children were basically allowing this to happen. This is a very common trend in the United Kingdom where you have basically retard ass parents who don't care for their kids. Now this isn't obviously the case all the time, but it happens so often. You're just like, where are these? Who do these kids like just like pop out of the ground and shit? Like they fucking grow on trees and you just like pluck them? What the fuck are these kids? Like they have no parents and shit. It's like the same excuse that the fucking refugees give. Oh, I had to leave my wife and children behind. It was too dangerous to take them. The fucking insult virgin ass motherfucker. Speaking of which, Insult TV didn't drop a fucking video, this week. I was like so anticipating his video because he made such a banger on Akash. I'm like, yo, how's he gonna follow that one up? And he's like, nah, dog. He knows that I watched his video, and that it sucks because he probably thought I was like East Indian, and he's like, oh shit, man. He doesn't throw crap at people. He knows how to throw out his garbage. He knows how to drive. He knows how to this, how to that. Like, oh, the fucking, all the judgment coming on them East Indians and Pakistanis and Punjabis. And as a quick aside, isn't it fucking funny that, all this shit, like I'm coming out with this video on Jaskarn, and like all this hate on Akash and him being a simp and his wife being a hoe and shit. And these motherfuckers, they fly out to all places, Punjab. And I'm like, you know you're not going to be able to run from your fucking problems, right? And you can even see in the fucking video, I kid you not, in the fucking video itself, as they're like shooting it and stuff, and she's panning the camera, you can see the people looking directly at them and just like laughing at them, smiling. They know what the fuck's up. Dude, the internet age is something I could have never fucking imagined, especially growing up and shit. Is because like you always think to yourself you're always going to be a stranger when you go to new places, or like this and that, like people are not going to know too much about you. No, dog, it's the opposite. Not only do people know what they know, like when you were born, where you live, where you, what languages you speak. This, Akash is like cucking out for the Sikhs. He's like putting on a fucking turban, dude. Dude, dude. Okay, so anyways, back to Jaskarn over here. Oh, fucking idiot. And they go to the Golden Temple, and I'm like, yo, dog, drink that water. Drink it. It's 100% clean. Nobody shits in there or anything. Fucking retards. And you know the thing with the Sikhs, right? It's like, it's a going like fucking thing that they all say. Like, Punjab is so much more better because all the fucking pedophiles and rapists left and they went to like fucking, Europe and North America. I hear some of them trying to posse out in Australia and shit, and they're just trying to like, set up a global network of pedophiles and shit. And the reason why I could say this without any hesitation is because, like, this documentary that was made on Jaskarn, right? Jhaj, was done by the classmates of the victim, right? So people who literally went to school with the little girls that Jaskarn raped, and even like did worse things. So he apparently like shot one of them, put a bullet hole in her leg, and it's on video, by the way. He's the one who's filming it. There's another one where he's making a girl, most likely underage, get a tattoo. And by the way, I haven't seen these videos. These young men have, and most likely when they're seeing it, they're seeing their classmates. So the context for them is like so twisted and weird and shit, right? But it's like we gotta stop calling it the Islamic grooming gang. It's bullshit. We all know that it is, right? Like, I don't like Muslims 100%, but I don't want to pretend that like they're the worst types of people, like they're super fucking evil and shit, right? Obviously there's always going to be like bad members of that religion, but like overall, like just calling it an Islamic grooming gang is just it's dismissive. It's like calling it an Islamic grooming gang is the same thing as calling these child groomers Asian. It's the same kind of fucking misdirection bullshit. Let's call it what it is. It's a Pakistani / Punjabi, that as in Sikh, child grooming gang where they rape kids. Okay, like even you can even look at Akash's like fucking the fucking age gap he has between him and his fucking wife, man. Some fucking pedo ass shit. Going to fucking Punjab, put on your fucking turban, you pedo ass fuck. Cause all this shit's coming the fuck out now. Right? It's all coming the fuck out. You're a cuck? Your fucking religion's full of fucking child rapists and pedophiles and shit, and your women are fucking hoes for fucking show. For fucking show, man. Everybody, the entire world needs to know this. They don't even like their own mans and shit. You need practice? I wouldn't. I don't want them diseases. I don't want no fucking shit on my dick. None of that. You know what I mean? Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Not literally, of course. Yeah, and the craziest part of all this entire episode of like it's basically this Jainan episode, Jainan, sorry, like an hour and a half plus, if not. Like I think he's the one, and this is the fucked up part, right? He's the one who cut it down and took out the stuff that like you couldn't put on YouTube. So there's way worse stuff that he can't even talk about or put on like the video, put in the video, or he's gonna get like restricted or like get his channel struck and like just whatever deleted. And it's like the thing is, this guy has been editing Jainan has been editing video since he was in high school. So the irony was he was in high school when this was going on, just minding his own business, being productive on the computer, unlike me, who's just like pirating games and skipping school and shit. And then like, he's so good at it that like this is the end result of like, his education, his application into video editing and YouTube, whatever, right? Like just making videos. Not like me where I just like talk and I have these pre-recorded video game segments, so you can just like look at something that's fascinating and holds your interest. No, it's like an actual legitimate, like well done video and stuff. And by the way, there's another fucking goddamn. I have to keep doing this disclaimer because it's like this guy doesn't know me. I'm not associated with him. My racist views are my own. Yada yada yada. Right? But like, he cut out. Like, what is it that was so bad, right? That it's worse than a girl getting forcibly getting a tattoo because of Jaskarn, and then also like the bullet wound, and then like the sexual assaults, and then like he has that shit on camera too. He has the girls getting sexually assaulted on camera basically. And here's the thing, right? I get harassed pretty much everywhere I go by not only the Sikhs, but people who are for pedophilia, child rape. Basically, they call them nonces, right? And now these old ass people come in 2 degrees. One of them has child porn on their computer. The other one has a kid who is an incel who sexually assaulted girls, this and that, and they're dealing with the ramifications of this. And for the longest time, I'm like, why is it such a widespread problem? Like, why are so many people bothering me? And then I realized that the younger generations have had access to dating websites pretty much ever since they were teenagers. So most likely, like them hooking up is completely different from me hooking up, right? Or people from my age hooking up, because it's like, everyone always asks, did you talk to her? Did you ask her? Did you this? Did you that? Because like that's how we did our relationships. We never had we knew about it, and sometimes we would try it, but it's like, as a primary source of meeting somebody, we always thought to ourselves, well, I always thought to myself that if you were to meet a girl off a dating website, like, at least as a man, that makes you pathetic. And I know that like that is a very antiquated way of thinking, but I'm just bringing that up because that's the difference between me and these younger generations, right? And like I think a lot of the older generations can also attest to that, where you didn't need to have a dating website. You just went out and you did it like the old-fashioned way. You go to clubs, go to malls, whatever, bars. I never liked bars though, to be fair. And what happens is like the ease of access to like girls just makes it so that you don't actually respect boundaries, I suppose. So our premier, Doug Ford, right, is coming out with I don't know if it's going to pass in the House of Commons. He wants to make the sexual predator registry available to the public. So like everybody who's ever did these things like will just be aware, like made like public to pretty much everybody. And obviously, especially on the liberal side, there's a lot of talk about shooting it down. Like they don't want to humor the idea that they have to, well, for lack of a better term, they have to do their job, right? They have to inform the public of these dangerous people who will possibly and most likely assault or harass or stalk their children. And it takes a guy like this Jaskarn Jhaj guy to like show how inept and like how you can have the government, and like the BBC was like literally going out of its way to run an editorial on him, and now it's all gone. It's all gone. Like the money that's involved with this guy, his family is just like hiding. Like I have this picture of him with his, like, I don't know who the fuck it is, and he's like, he has his turban on, and you see him next to Jaskarn, and his Jaskarn's all like fucking emaciated out. Like these guys are fucking retards, man. And like I find it so funny how like Akash and his wife are like, busting back the fucking, Punjab. And I'm like, yeah, dog, why don't you just stay the fuck there, man? You know what I mean? Like, you see his posse. Like, this is the fucked up part. I There's so many videos of you coming out making fun of people, Akash. You're not some fucking, snowflake. Ironic, I'm thinking, fighting Valkana, and I'm like calling him a snowflake. You're no snowflake there, Akash. You said some things and did some things to warrant this kind of accountability. And if you can't handle that accountability, then maybe you should have found a different occupation other than stand-up comedian. Because, dog, every single video, every single stand-up show you're gonna do from now on is always you're always gonna find people bringing this shit up, and it's not people my age. It's not people our age because we're like around the same age, dude. There's gonna be people who are teenagers. There's gonna be people who are young 20s, mid 20s, early 30s, and they're all gonna dogpile you. And you think it stops there? No, 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 no. There's going to be people older than us, 5 years, 10 years, they're going to be like, huh, you should have picked a better wife. You should have been more of a man. You know what I mean? Like that old fashioned, ball busting type of way. And they're going to fucking drag you. This is going to be something that you and the Sikhs have to fucking deal with for the rest of your miserable fucking existence, man. I told you, this is going to be like the most important video of my career ever. You guys stalk, you guys harass me, you guys like to pretend that like you can't be touched, and you're like driving your trucks, crashing, killing up people, raping girls, selling drugs, trying to sell drugs. Yo, fentanyl. Yo, America. You want to know where a percentage of your fentanyl is coming from? It's not from south of the border, mind you. And the media is going out of its way to hide that from you. Yeah, they did something like, I don't know what the fuck it is, like fish liver? And like they got their trucker trying to push it in, and they got that shit on them. They got bricks and this and that because they're fucking losers, man. It's like they need those types of things to make up for the bitch that they are, right? Like fucking Akash is running back to fucking Punjab. He's got a fucking toss on a turban like a little bitch, like a little bitch. Put your fucking use your turban to wipe your fucking wife's ass. After a man's nutted in it. Well, them white boys, eh? So back to Jaskarn, right? So this fucker does time, and this is how you know that these Sikhs are fucked. Eh? So instead of letting this guy rot in jail, they fight his charges, and his little cousin goes on the stand. I think it's his little cousin, by the way. I don't know. The family member or whatever that was like helping him groom all these little girls and stuff, and took his side. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Bitches be hoes, mans be fucking bitches. You know what I mean? So, what's the moral of this story? I think the moral of this story is when it comes to the Sikhs, their women are fucking trash. They're garbage. And their men are fucking, pedophilic bitches. Obviously, not all of them. This is me generalizing. But the numbers are so high that it's like, why would I even, like, bother, like, differentiating between the two at this point? It's just, having lived in Brandon, like, 10 plus years now, like, I realized that, like, it's a zero-sum game to interact with them, be their friends, or anything, because they are very much a parasite race that, the Hindus were merciful to, alongside the Muslims, and look at how they're we're dealing with this shit. And I like, it's kind of weird how I always thought that like this is like an isolated problem that only the Hindus have to deal with, but it's like, yeah, dog, the whole world is dealing with it. Like East Asians, now Europeans and Americans, Russians. That was one that fucked with me the most. And yeah, Jaskarn, yeah, you blew up the fucking thing, blah blah blah. I did the whole Disney, wedding thing, but like that's not the important part about this video. The most important part is this guy filmed himself. He made a book for himself. He has all this bullshit. Just look it up, man. It's fucked.